Let's do it, people. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So you need to act like you like it. You need to pretend like you like it. What am I talking about? Men and women, but especially men. Well, not especially, but I do have an example that men can really take to heart. But men and women, if you really want to know the truth of who the person is you're trying to be involved with, if you really want to know the truth of who they are, you have to pretend, you have to pretend to agree with what they say. Okay? You have to pretend to agree with what they say. Don't try to make them agree with you. So, for example, let's say if something like body count is really important to me. Like, I hate when women have a high body count. Let's just say, for example, body count is important to me in real life. I'm just giving an example right now. If body count, if a woman having a low body count is something that I want, I have to act like it doesn't matter to me if a woman has a high body count. You have to make a woman feel comfortable. Then you'll really get the truthfulness of who they are. So, for example, if this with this example, the body count example. So I hate women that have high body counts, let's just say, right? When I speak to a woman, I want to say things like, so like, you know what? And she'll be like, what? I hate how society today says that women have to have low body counts. I think women should be able to have sex as much as possible. I think that's only fair. Men have sex as much as possible. So I really feel that a woman having a high body count kind of shows that she's independent and she's strong and she knows what she wants in life. So you kind of say what you don't want. You pretend to like what you don't like. So when you say to her, yeah, well, you know what? I don't think that women should have a low body count. I think that, a woman should be the type that expresses her independence. And if she wants to have sex with a lot of men, that shows that she's strong and she knows what she wants. That's what you want to say to her, even though you mean in reality the opposite. So when you say to her, yeah, I think it's good when women have a high body count. I think having a high body count, there's nothing wrong with that when it comes to women. I think that, women are showing their independence when they do that. And you wait to see what she says. Now, if she says something like, yeah, well, I agree. That's why I always did what I want. She's not the one for you. She has a high body count. You need to get rid of her right away. If she says something like, really? That's how you feel? Because I feel totally different. I think it's disgusting when a woman has a high body count. I think that women should protect themselves and women should cherish their bodies. If she goes against what you say, like, because remember, you were pretending. You were acting like you really like women with a high body count, even though you don't. So you were pretending. If she goes against that and says, I don't know. I think women should not have a high body count. I think women should respect their bodies. I think women should respect themselves. I would never do something like that. Then that's the woman for you. You see, that's the woman for you. And a lot of people might say right now, I can already hear it. Yeah, but she might just be agreeing with you because she likes you. So she might agree with your stance. So if I say that, man, you know what? I think it's a good thing when a woman has a high body count, even though I'm pretending, right? Some people will say, well, she might just say, like, Well, okay, well, yeah, I think that's a good thing also, just to agree with me because she wants me to like her, or she likes me, so she wants to agree with me. You don't want a woman like that anyway. You want a woman that is strong and intelligent to where she stands on her beliefs and she has core beliefs that she'll stick to no matter what. You want a woman that won't change when people come along and try to change her mind. You know why? Because that means that her friends or her family or another guy that she might work with, they might be able to change her mind about you. You see how that works? You don't want a woman that agrees with whatever you say, even if it goes against her core beliefs. You want a woman that will stand up against you for her core beliefs that are the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. Okay. So you really want to, if you really want to see the truthfulness in a guy or a girl, you pretend to like the things that you don't like and you see how they respond. And that's how you'll know if they're for you or not. Man, just really quickly before we get out of here, I remember that this happened a couple months ago. There was a female I was talking to, and so it's interesting, right? So she has this thing to where she likes like uh like guys who are like, she says guys who turn her on are like the reformed thug, basically, right? And I said, and you should always do this also, guys. You should always ask a woman who's her celebrity crush. That's how you can see the type of guy she likes. So I asked her, I said, who's your celebrity crush? And I said, what type of guys that you like? And she was like, I don't know. I said, well, what type of guys always turned you on? She was like, I don't know. I said, well, who's your celebrity crush? And she said, oh, Nas, right away. Didn't even hesitate. She was like, oh, Nas. I was like, the rapper Nas? She was like, yeah, Nas. I said, why? She said, because he's like a thug, but he's like reformed, but he still has like that edge about him. So I like reformed thugs. So that's her type. That's what turns her on. So it's interesting because her ex-boyfriend, he recently got locked up. Now, she told me he got locked up, and it came out in a conversation where we were talking about something totally different. And so that's red flag number one, right? Because it's like, okay, because before when she would talk to me, it'd be like, oh, I don't even talk to my ex-boyfriends. But then in a casual conversation, it kind of came out that he got locked up. Men and women, when the person you're in a relationship with, when they tell you something that's surprising news, don't react. Don't say, hold up. So you fucking lying to me because before you said, don't say nothing. Just let them keep talking. Don't say nothing. Just let them keep talking. Because they will reveal all the lies and all the things that they hid from you. Just let them keep talking. Like, just act like they didn't even say anything surprising. Just let them keep talking. Right. So when she told me, I was like, in my mind, I was like, but I thought you didn't talk to him anymore. Like, how do you know what? Why are you knowing so much about him? Right. So after that, I casually brought it up. I was like, this was like maybe a couple weeks after that. I was like, yeah. So I did what I just gave an example of with the body count thing. I pretended to like something that I didn't like. So I pretended to like the opposite. So we were in a conversation. I was like, I said, yeah. I said, so I said, have you gone to see your ex-boyfriend in jail? And she was like, no. I was like, why not? I said, I thought you were somebody who's like loyal. Like, you're not loyal to your ex-boyfriend. Like, you don't want to, isn't he like a reformed thug? That's like the type of guy you like. Like, don't you want to go see him? And she was like, no. She was like, I don't even talk about him. She's like, I never even think about him like that. Right. So that was good. She disagreed with me and I was pretending. So she was actually, in reality, she was actually on the same side that I was on. which is your ex is your ex. You shouldn't talk to your ex. You shouldn't be talking about your ex. Your ex shouldn't be on your mind. So right there, when I asked her and I pretended to, I pretended like it was a good thing to talk to her ex and she should go see him in jail. That was a good thing. I pretended. I didn't like that. I was pretending, right? She disagreed with me, which is a good sign. She was like, "No, I wouldn't. Why would I talk to him? No, I wouldn't go see him." That's a good thing because I was pretending, right? But then a week later, she had supposedly went to brunch with her friends, which is why I have these pictures up here, right? The brunch pictures. She supposedly went to brunch with her friends. So what ended up happening was when she went to brunch with her friends, so I asked her, I was like, so how was it? Like, how was brunch? How did everything go? She was like, oh, it went good. And so was talking about this, and so was talking about that. And, it's a bunch of females, and they always get together for brunch. And, when females get together for brunch, they have so much to say, so much to talk about, right? And females, they always talk about the guys they're involved with their friends, and what's the latest with this guy, and what happened with this guy you were talking to, and things like that. So I was just asking her, I said, so what was happening at brunch? How was brunch? She was like, oh, did I said, so I go down her friend list. Oh, so how's so-and-so doing? How's so-and-so doing? Oh, is so-and-so still with her husband? Is so-and-so, and she'll go down the list of the stories of her friends from brunch. So she got to this one part and she was like, yeah, and so-and-so, oh, her boyfriend got locked up. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I said, how did they feel about this? Is what I asked her. I didn't even, because remember what she was telling me was that she don't believe, you should talk to your ex, you should talk about your ex, da 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 da. I said, yeah. I said, so what did they think about your ex being locked up? Just like that. That's all I said. That was a test. I just threw it out there because remember, she's not supposed to be talking about her ex or to her ex or anything like that. So if that was true, if what she told me before was true, her answer should be, oh, I didn't even bring it up to them, right? Because she's not supposed to be thinking about her ex, talking about her ex, talking to her ex, or anything like that. So when I said that, I just threw that question out there. So what did they think about your ex being in jail? Her answer should be, oh, I don't know. I didn't bring him up. Why would I bring him up? That's where her answer should be and should have been. But when I said, so what did your friends think about your ex being locked up? She was like, oh, so and so felt like, I should probably go see him and da da da. And so and so asked me, when he gets out of jail, if I would think about getting back with him. And I don't know, once he has a record, I don't know if I don't know if that was the type of guy I would get with. I really have to think about it. Oh, so me just asking the question like, oh, what did your friends think about your ex-boyfriend in jail? I was pretending like that would be okay. You see what I'm saying? You got to pretend. I was pretending like that would be okay. Because if I really showed my true colors of how I really felt, I would have said something like, oh, well, at least you didn't talk to them about your ex-boyfriend in jail because I know you don't talk about that nigga. You see what I'm saying? If I was pretending, I would have said something like that, like to where it would have showed her, oh, I better not mention that I brought him up because old dog doesn't like him being brought up. You see what I'm saying? But the way I asked the question in a mode to where I was pretending like that would be an okay thing if she brought up her ex-boyfriend to her friends at brunch. I was pretending. So that's the way to do it, you all. You have to pretend, right? And so that's what I said. I was like, so, how did they feel about your ex-boyfriend being in jail? And then she started to sing like a canary. She was like, oh, well, so and so thought, I should probably go see him, but so and so said I should just leave it alone. And then, so and so asked me, well, when he gets out, like, would you consider getting back with him? And I was like, well, I don't know because I don't know if I want a guy that has a record. I mean, I really have to sit down and think about it. So not only are you talking about your ex-boyfriend, which you told me you don't do, not only to talk about him, you have to first think about him, and you're thinking about him. Not only are you thinking about your ex-boyfriend, which you told me that you don't do, but you're actually taking out time to think about considering the possibility of what would have to happen for you to get back with him. Because if your ex-boyfriend meant nothing to you and he was nowhere close to your mind, you wouldn't even bring him up with your girls. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't even bring him up in the brunch conversation. So that showed me right there that he's still on her mind. He's on her mind, and he is still important enough to her for her to bring him up in conversation with her closest friends. So all that time where she kind of pretends with me, like, oh, I don't think about him. Oh, why would I think about him? All that stuff is a lie. It's all a lie. She does think about him. You see what I'm saying? She does think about him and does talk about him and does bring him up in conversations. So, just like I gave with the first example with the body count, you all pretend. You have to pretend like you like it. Whatever you truly like in real life, pretend like you like the opposite and see how they respond. And that's how you will know if that person is the type of person you should be with or not. All right. All right, you guys. Love y'all. Y'all take care. Check out these videos right here. Oh, I think I put them like right here and right here. I don't know. Right here, right there. Y'all take care. Oh, the Anti-Imperial chill. Love y'all. Y'all take care. Peace. Bye-bye.